So when I think about life coach or coaching, it just seems to box me. And
Yeah.
and I really, my intention is to embrace all of that without having a label in this community, in this society. And how do I do that? So I feel restricted, constricted when I have to kind of bring all those things that I love into a label.
Well, I can appreciate you have so many talents, so many ways to serve people, and you really love that.
Yeah.
And I also hear that it's feeling constricted to really just label it as one thing.
Yeah.
What my experience is, if you're not marketing online as a coach, then actually just serving people, the label is just for communication. It's not restricting your essence or who you are, right? Who you are is separate than what you do.
Yeah.
And so the label really just identifies to them, this is the type of work that I'm inviting you to. Every coach works differently. So this is really about when you give them an experience of the work that you do, there's no way you can box that in or label that. And they're going to feel you regardless of what you say, right? And so that's more powerful in terms of your marketing. And what I would suggest for you is to write down any judgments you have around marketing or sales.
Okay.
Write those down, and then really start questioning them and define how you want to move forward with marketing and sales. I think it's the most loving thing you can do for someone. If somebody's really wanting support and you have something that can serve them, of course, like that's the most, and I know service is a value for you. So I would encourage you to define how you perceive and hold marketing and sales. You define it for yourself. So that it's like, people that are desirous and wanting the support get the resources and support that's available for them to really go for their dreams.
Yeah.
Get that, it's like connect with your heart around it, not what you've been told. And I know there's a lot of sleazy, weird sales tactics. When you're coming from your heart, when you're coming from service, they're going to feel that, and you get to define what it is for you.
I guess I have bought into the belief that I have to do it like this Facebook or Yelp or, all of that in order to really, although my other business was just referrals, but for some reason now I'm feeling like, okay, in order to really step fully into this, I'm going to have to buy into this. And when I was listening to the expert, I was like, oh my gosh, that just felt like somebody had just dug a hole, put it in, and just put sand and mud and everything on top of me. And I was like, okay.
That's a clear no for you.
Yeah.
So that's a clear no, right? Because you want to have discernment with people making suggestions. There are thousands of ways to the top of the mountain, towards your goals.
Okay.
Some things are going to resonate for some people because they love selling products or they really want to reach thousands of people. You have to hear the feedback with a filter of, this is a suggestion.
Okay.
This is not one way. There are thousands of ways. You stay true to you. You've already have a track record of doing it in another business. You can do the same thing. That's your style. That's your value.
Yeah.
Somebody else has different values, so other things will work for them.
Okay.
But that kind of putting a hole down, like that is a clear no.
Yeah.
So you don't have to do that.
And this one last thing is, I got a text message from someone, and instantly I felt like, this doesn't feel right. I don't know who this person is, but it's something just didn't resonate. And interesting enough, this was the next day after seeing that. And I was like, okay, this is validation, or either I was vibrating attracting this. But I was like, I had to just kindly just kind of cut that text off and block the caller because it didn't feel right. And so that's, I guess, maybe in my mind, like this is validating that this is the opposite of how I'm wanting to attract and connect with people.
And that's invaluable information. So as we're experimenting and taking action on what we're wanting to create, which we'll get into in a moment, and you'll get feedback about what your yeses and nos are.
Yeah.
And you just listen to your body, and you just listen to your truth, and then you modify. You change directions.
Okay.
Yeah, it's good information for you. But the more you're connected with your values, how you're doing your business, not only creating clients, but also serving them and setting it all up. Again, it's always about alignment. That's what's fulfilling.
Yeah.
So whether you're a coach or you're an entrepreneur or you're a writer or you're whatever your profession is, again, that's the keys to fulfillment.
I think this is my last thing. I think what you mentioned one time is don't compare yourself. And I think I was comparing myself that this is how it's supposed to be. Because I look at everything you're doing online and how beautiful, how vibrant and everything. And it's like, gosh, I wished I could show up. That is not my way. That is surely her way. But can I feel that joy
Yes.
in my service
Yes.
and how you radiate through the media, you know? And I want to radiate that way, but
You do you.
yeah.
Yeah. And the more you stay true to yourself, the more you'll radiate. It'll just be a clear channel because it lights you up.
Yeah.
That's all. That's your service to yourself. And then always about getting creative to share value in the world. Doing what you love helps you reach your goals.
Thank you.
It's beautiful. Thank you.